And we are live. It's Friday night. Graham, you all right? You froze?
I'm good, mate. You all right? How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm all right, mate. Just quickly, Scott's not here tonight. He's had to go to work. Nicky's running a bit late, but we are joined by, he's back. It's Dan the man. Dan,
yeah, not bad, mate. Good to be back. Good to
have you back, mate.
Yeah, no, good to see you guys. Obviously,
yeah. Good to have you back, mate. Good to have you back.
Yeah, back for a Friday night drink up with you lot and all the viewers. So lots to talk about. So honestly, it's a lot of good stuff to talk about. Thankfully, I mean, look, since I've been away, you know, the wins have just been coming thick and fast, and I haven't been able to talk about it so much. So it'd be nice to talk about some of the good times.
Well, we're live on air now. It's 7:33. We've been waiting all day for Lingard to be announced. It could happen any time during the next hour and a half. So if it does, we'll change the title. He's in the thumbnail. But before
we do drag it out, didn't we? We drag
out. God knows what this announcement video is going to look like. You know what Jesse Lingard's like. He loves a dance. Do you remember, Gray, when we met him a couple of years ago and he was doing the dancing, the moonwalking and that? And the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, not as good
as us, Gray. Not as good as us, mate. But
yeah.
But what were you drinking, Gray?
I've got a JD and Co.
Yes, Gray, I've got it with it, mate. Look, JD, you've got me right on the JD lately with ice as well. I didn't have ice last week.
You know the drill. You
know when you pour like, you don't do pub measures, you do Spanish measures, holiday measures. Like you fill half the bar
measure,
JD. What are you drinking, Dan?
Yeah.
I'm on the old buds, mate. On the old buds. It's going down nice. Left them in the garden.
I bet they're ice cold, didn't they?
Yeah, that is one of my favourite things about winter, right? You don't need to worry about any space in the fridge. You just leave your beers in the garden. They come out nice and cold.
Cold outside and in my fridge.
We just got a donation coming in here for the Jack Daniels and a beer. West Ham Fan TV fan, $48.99. Love what you guys do.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Guys, keeping up the quality content. Love from Scotland. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. I don't know where that money goes. We're still trying to find out, but once we do it, I think we'll be set up for life with all the donations we've had lately.
Yeah, that'll keep us in JD for a while.
Oh yeah, well, thank you very much for that. But
what's this new bubble look? I like this new curvy graphic thing going on there.
What one?
You know when you put it up. Oh, I can't.
Oh yeah.
Look, it's all nice and rounded.
Yeah, we don't muck about on here, mate. When you go away, we play about with things.
Upgraded.
But before we get into Jesse Lingard, it was announced today that as part of the deal, we had Benrahma has signed a permanent deal now, 5-year deal to 2026.
Excellent news.
I'm excited about it. I'm glad we've tied him down now. Never in doubt that we weren't going to sign him on the permanent, but the way he's been playing lately, he's starting to show his class in the Premier League. All he needs is a goal, and you'll see a different Benrahma. What's your thoughts on it? Happy?
Yeah, I think I'm really happy because you know that a lot of people were saying that we had the option to buy or the obligation, or it's just for me. I don't know for sure, but I'm just happy that we've got it done. And no matter what, he's a West Ham player. There's no chance of him going back to Brentford or someone else. Even that little 5% chance is gone. He's a West Ham player. He's getting better and better. And that just shows that I guess all of these sort of rumours about David Moyes not fancying him or the perception of him not fancying him, I mean, that's got to be a big stamp of faith in him, from Moyes.
I think you might see, I guess that's probably a big weight off his shoulders as well, because, while you're on loan, you're like, he's got a taste of the Premier League now. Probably you might see a few more relaxed performances, not that he hasn't been good, but, he can just really
help him settle a bit more, might help him settle a bit more. I was expecting that we would make Dawson a permanent, because of it's the cheaper option, so 3 million make Dawson permanent, then get Lingard on loan, then they can evaluate Benrahma just because of the pricing. So I was very surprised that they went with Benrahma on a permanent. But pleasantly surprised, of course.
I was really chuffed when we saw that news that he'd been made permanent. I think he'll
Yeah, and
we'll see some real fantastic performances.
Not that contract really mean that much these days, but it's a nice 5-year deal. You know, as you said, it's a weight off his shoulders. You know, he's been showing signs especially the last 2 or 3 games that he's settling into the Premier League, and all he's missing is a goal. I think once he gets that goal, he ups his level a bit more. But him and Fornals getting a good connection in midfield. I'm just over the moon with the signing, and as you said, Dan, you know, we could have took the cheaper option and signed Dawson for 3 million, but fair play to them. You know, they've gone out and they've spent the big money on Benrahma to get him in. And he's a West Ham player now. West Ham player for the next 5 years, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you said, he's just missing the goal, but the chances he's creating. I mean, there was the game the other day, Antonio missed that sitter. He could have had a couple of assists there, Benrahma. So I think creativity-wise, he's been doing a blinder, and I think once he gets the goal, there'll be no stopping him.
Speaking of late transfer, we've just got one of our own. I've just seen him pop in. He's had his medical. He's back in the room. It's Hawkins.
Apologies for the lateness.
What's that T-shirt you got on there, Nick?
Nick, there's a greatness to your lateness.
I've got the memo. Anyway, Nick is in the house now. Nick, we was just talking about Benrahma, permanent deal. You happy with that?
Yeah, it was going to happen anyway, wasn't it? So, yeah, I think he's showing some signs of becoming the player he can be. The only I feel guilty for moaning, but the only sort of problem I have with it is I don't want them to lord it up like it's a new signing. We'd already signed him. We was already obliged to sign him. So, like signing him now, I do understand it. Obviously, we wanted to get Lingard in and all of that sort of thing. But I don't want them now to turn around and go, we can't get the striker that you need because. Because we've signed him and all that. They was gonna bloody sign him anyway. Do you know what I mean? So,
but what Dan pointed out was a good point. They could have took the cheaper option and signed Dawson.
Yeah, to be fair, it's a good move because you never we don't know the ins and outs of the contract. I know that you hear there was an obligation to buy and all that, but you don't know what the true obligation of that was. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Could he have refused himself, or or anything like that? Do you know what I mean? Like, and if something like that, if we was obliged to buy him, but he turned around and went, you know what, I don't want to stay here. Would he have the power to get out of it? So signing him up is a good thing. I think, Dawson, I think would sign for us anyway. But if he had a good second half of the season, or he wasn't playing as much as he would like to, he could turn around and say for instance, a Villa coming for him or something like that at the end of the season, he might have had the chance to turn around and go, yeah, no, fuck it, I'm going there then, because I'm not getting. So it's a good move. I think it's a good move. I think Dawson will sign for us anyway, and I think there's more potential with Benrahma. Dawson's at the age, unfortunately, where he's only going to start decline. But I think Benrahma's at an age where he can only get better. So signing him up permanently, I think, is a good move.
Better business. You got some super chats here. Andrew McDonald, $25. Cheers, mate. Ryan Calendar is coming.
I said if we win the FA Cup, I'll do it. I'll do a calendar.
All right, you heard it here first.
On that note,
you're off.
I'll bail out on Ryan's calendar. Saying to look forward to. I'm actually supposed to be working at the minute.
Yeah, I must just say thank you to Graham for joining us. He wasn't meant to come on tonight because he's really busy and he's helped us out for the first 10 minutes. So thank you, Graham. If you fancy popping back on, we're here until 9:30, mate. So you got the link. If you fancy come back on, just pop on, bring your drinks and get your tits out.
If I get my work finished in time, I'll duck back in.
We get Champions League Graham calendar as well, yeah?
Yeah.
No one wants to see that. No. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I disagree with you. I reckon Dawson will be good for another 2 to 3 years. Yeah, that's true. But
yeah, he's only 30, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think Benrahma would be good for another 7 or 8. So
yeah. But yeah, no, I agree. But yeah, absolutely, it's better business. But thanks to the previous super chat, I don't know where that's gone. That came down, but East London. There's
we got a £48.99 donation earlier, Nick, from someone in Scotland.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Thank you so much. You really don't need to do that. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna get your questions read out anyway.
Yeah, we do have a section, where we read out the comments, and we do pick out some comments here and there. But thank you for everyone for your nice comments. Well, I've seen all your really nice comments in there, so thank you to everyone. I've read them all, so appreciate it. But yeah, good business.
Yeah, I mean, moving on, we're waiting for the Lingard. I mean, there's a lot of people saying in the chat that it's a done deal. We're just waiting for the announcement. I don't like putting in the title that it's a done deal just in case. So as soon as that happens, we'll change the title. But we're waiting for the announcement. Jesse Lingard looks like he's joining West Ham for the rest of the season. I think it's like a 1.5 million loan fee and 75 grand a week wages. So it works out quite a lot of money for looking about 18 games because he can't play in the cup. So you happy with that deal? Do you think he'll add a lot to the team, the squad? Good to have him. Obviously, he's lost his way in the last 18 months. You know, he's had personal issues, but there's no denying he's got talent. We've seen it before for Man United and England, especially in the World Cup in 2018. Me personally, I think he'll add a lot of competition to the team. He can play centre mid. He can play on the wing. He can play up front. I'm not saying he's our answer, but he's going to be someone that's going to come in and want to challenge. He's got something to prove. He's got the Euros. He's basically got 18 games to get himself in that European squad for the Euros in the summer. So I'm happy with it. I think it'll be a good deal, but we still need to go out and get a striker.
I think it would take him a few games to get going, though, wouldn't it? Because he ain't played in a year, so I don't like. Sort of people was wondering if he could, even if he was available for Liverpool. I think even if he was, he wouldn't play. Like you can't. He needs to get his match fitness, so we might not even get 18 games out of him. But hopefully, like I said, he's got that hunger and desire to prove something and give it a few weeks coming off the bench and stuff. He'll be at that level. And maybe we could sign him on a permanent at the end of the season. I don't think he's got a future at Man United. You know, I can't see it. So
thing is, as well, we're signing like Lingard to our squad. I mean, I read saying earlier that the players are happy with him coming in. You know, they're up their game now because they know they've got someone like Jesse Lingard ready to come on and challenge for the first team. So I think it's a good deal. What do you think, Nick?
I like the deal. It's a no risk deal for West Ham because
we said it before, didn't we? We need bodies. We're a thin squad.
Yeah, like he's going to give us options. I like the deal. I've not always been a massive fan of Lingard's, to be honest with you. I've always thought he was one of them people that pissballed around a bit too much.
He reminds me a lot of Ravel Morrison. It reminds me of him, the way he lived his life.
I can see the comparisons. I don't think Lingard's as naturally talented as him, but he's been a good player in the past. He's finding it tough at Man United at the minute because Man United are in a bit of a transition, but and they've got some world class players in midfield now. You know what I mean? And he's unfortunately he's never going to get in front of them. You know, he doesn't fit into all his plans.
He's had a lot of personal problems as well, when he like of his.
Yeah, I saw that earlier on, saying that he's had a bit, a few problems at home. But I've always thought of him as someone that's, in like a lot of interest in the old social media and all of that sort of thing, which it's not always a bad thing, but it can distract from your job.
It's funny that, isn't it? Because he loves all that dancing on social media. We met him a couple of years ago, didn't we, at a Coca-Cola event?
Yeah,
and he come across as very shy, didn't he? Like, I remember speaking to him and his agent, and I don't think he's got the same agent now, but he was like very shy, and he come across as all right. He didn't look to me. It didn't seem like he had an ego.
Absolute pleasure of a guy to meet. Do you know what? I actually forgot I met him. I forgot we met him at that Coca-Cola event. I think it was them.
You were pissed on all them free cocktails. That's why.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But yeah, I actually forgot it was there. He done some. I remember him doing some dance off, if I remember right.
I remember actually saying to him about West Ham. I said to him, like, because he played in the last game at the Boleyn, he come on as a sub, and I said to him, I remember saying to him, I said, what do you remember about that night? And he said like it was one of the best atmospheres he's ever played in. He said it was a privilege to be part of that game, but he said I didn't want to lose. So he said obviously he was a Man United player at the time. He said like I wish we would have won, but he said what an atmosphere to play in. So
that video of him in the coach with the bottles flying at the window, it's priceless. Bloody hell! I've lost there was the two bloody super chats. I want
to see him. I want to see him and Antonio do a celebration together because I can imagine what they're going to be working on in training and that. But I'm just happy he's joined. But look, there's no denying we still need a striker. We 100% need a striker.
Wasn't it him a couple of years ago that went on to Soccer AM and missed the penalty and he paid him out of his own pocket?
Yeah, he did. He missed the penalty. Yeah, I remember watching that one.
Yeah, he does seem like a good guy. There was that video of him with the kids as well, playing football.
Yeah, he got out of his car, didn't he, and played football. Listen, he comes across as a decent lad. You know, he's had these troubles, but you know what? West Ham might be a good move for him. Getting out of Manchester for a few months, come down to London. David Moyes will put his arm around him. Not only him, Declan Rice, Noble. They'll all tell him, how good he is, and he's got a point to prove. And it could go either way. It could be a Gareth Bale deal and be loads of shit, or it could work out to be a really good deal. And then in the summer, West Ham might look to, because he'll only have 12 months left on his deal at United. West Ham might look to take him on a permanent deal, bring him into the club.
Yeah. What I'm interested in one of the super chats that we lost was said, how do you guys feel about, the likelihood of us not signing a striker, which we'll go into that a bit later. But I'm very interested to see if Moyes will play him there or try to play him up front. If Antonio don't play, playing up top.
If we don't get a striker, I think that, and we spoke about this last week, I think maybe Lingard might play him out on the wing and use Yarmolenko as a striker, push him up top.
Yeah, because you have someone there, obviously, who's got a lot more mobility, a lot more pace in Lingard that can help support those weaknesses in Yarmolenko, because Yarmolenko does lack that mobility and pace.
I mean, if Moisey turns Yarmolenko into a Nuhanovic, they should give him a 50-year deal. They should put a statue of Moisey up outside the London Stadium if he can do that. But yeah, look, there's no denying we still need a striker. I personally think we will get someone in. And I think it's going to be Josh King. I could just see a last-minute deal for him to getting him in the club. He's been playing lately for Bournemouth, so he's not Premier League fit, but he's fit.
If he wants over 100 grand wages, he can piss right off, honestly.
And the thing is, I know Bournemouth are holding out for like 12, 14 million, but I can see West Ham last day deal maybe getting it between 8 and 10 or something like that. Just, I don't know. It's going to be difficult now to get. It's going to be difficult now to get anyone in from Europe with only a couple of days left.
This is what people think of our opinions.
Agree with Scott.
Who does he think Scott? Because if it's me, I'm going to be very.
You look the most like Scott. To be fair, you look the closest to Scott.
Yeah, it's because I've got hair.
Yeah,
that's about it, isn't it?
You've got the similar sort of head shape as well. Mine and Nicky are more round. Yours is more...
but he's got a bigger barnet than me. You seen the size of his head up close?
Super chat, Mr. Marvel. I thought that was when I looked at it. I thought that was a Man City badge. It's great to see you back. Dan coming as £5. Cheers, Mr. Marvel. And we missed one from good old Roy. Donated $20. Good old Roy, and that we lost that one as well. So thank you, Roy, for that one.
Cheers, Roy.
It's good to have you back. I wasn't here for the start, but it is good to have you back. I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, cheers, mate. No, it's good to be back. Good to be back Friday.
Dan weren't saying that about you at the beginning, mate.
Until the LA argument's coming out, and I'll be telling you to fuck off again.
Do you know what? That was going to be my first words. I was going to say doing this big speech about LA as a wind up, but I thought, let's not wind everyone up.
Is there any other strikers that you think we might get? It was interesting. I was watching Sky Sports News a little while ago, and they was talking about maybe Liverpool looking at the option of taking Diop in on loan for the rest of the season. And as I said, the other Diop, because I
think that'd be a good move.
Yeah, I'll do it if they give us Origi.
I don't think they're going to give us anyone.
Well, we ain't giving them Diop then. Fuck them.
No, I'll be honest with you. I think that would be a good move for Diop. I honestly do.
The only thing that worries me is that if we loan him out and then we pick up an injury for Dawson, because
I wouldn't have him out without an option of bringing him back.
Imagine they loaned him out on the Monday and brought him back on the Tuesday just for Bents.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying I wouldn't loan him out without a chance of bringing him back, just in case we've been in that situation before. Do you remember when we loaned out Zarate to Crystal Palace? No, it wasn't. It was the QPR. What? And then all of a sudden, we had about a week later, we had a striker crisis, and he could have played. Like, I would never do that with Diop, but.
Thing is, Frosty Fellas just said Origi higher wages. They can do a deal where we pay Diop's wages and they pay Origi's wages.
Yeah, they're more desperate than we are in that regard.
Yeah, but it would. I would like Diop to go to, because if he'll play at the minute, he'll play for a top side. He'll bring some stuff back.
Shaka Islop. I hope that's the real Shaka Islop. Diop for Origi makes too much sense for the board. Yeah, it does. It is a deal that you think that it would make sense. We need a striker, they need a defender. For the last 18 games, this swap, but I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they really want to loan a striker to title contenders, title rivals in West Ham?
Yeah, well, it's like that story came out about the Chelsea not wanting to give us Billy Gilmore because they don't want to strengthen a top 4 rival.
Oh, well, do you know what makes me laugh about, just talking about Chelsea quickly? All their fans were posting them pictures of Declan Rice in a Chelsea shirt and all that, playing with Mason Mount. I would love it next summer if we got Mason Mount in at West Ham. I would love it. It would be the best thing ever. I think.
I'll be honest with you, they're still making me laugh. Because all of a sudden there's rumours that they're going to go for the Borussia Dortmund kid, the Haaland and some other guy, someone else, and again the league ain't ready for it. What, like we weren't ready for fucking Timo Werner and Havertz and who was the other guy? It was a defender.
Thiago Silva.
No, it wasn't Thiago Silva. No, who they're linked to now? It's a defender. Alba from Bayern Munich. Who, if you've ever watched Alba from Bayern Munich, he's a good player, he's an athletic player, but he's not a very good defender. He's not massively good at defence. And to be honest, that's what they need. They need a fucking good defender. But they're like, if we sign them, the league's over. The league's over. What do you mean? You're sitting in 10th. You was telling us all that in the fucking summer.
Eli's in the room, big fan of the channel. It's his 19th birthday today, so he's spending it watching Friday Night Pint. Happy 19th, Eli. I think Eli sent you an email the other day. He's done a song for you. He's got some tunes for you. Yeah, it's in the emails. I forgot to send it on to you, but have a look at the emails after. I thought it was Eli singing at first, but it weren't. He's done a nice little track for you, so thank you so much for that.
Cheers, Elias. I'll have a look at that, mate. I'll have a look in the emails. Yeah, I didn't know about that. I'll go and have a look. That's interesting. No, I'm looking forward to it. So, speaking of strikers, obviously you mentioned about strikers and that. I keep seeing, right, and I haven't bothered to do any research on this because I'm just sick of all these names that gets thrown out with strikers. But it's Huang
Li Chung, isn't it?
Huan Lee Chung or something, I think he's Korean. I think he's a Korean player we linked with. I don't know, is he any good? What's the story?
I'll be honest, I haven't really seen much of him. I see someone put a few clips up of him the other day. He looks a decent player. No one puts bad clips up of players, do they? But look, we need a striker. If David Moyes wants him, then let's get him in. But I don't think that deal was going to happen now. This is the problem with what's going on with like the Brexit rules and all that. To try to get someone in now is going to take a bit of time, and the deadline shuts 11 o'clock on Monday. So it's I don't know, unless things can happen. Things can happen in such a short time, but who knows? That's why I think Josh King would make perfect sense for West Ham, because
I've just seen Juan's goal scoring record, and I'm not impressed. 1 goal in 8 appearances this season, like 2 in 21 last season. And Juan, I'm sorry, Juan.
To be fair to him, he hasn't been playing. I don't think.
Yeah, but so why do we think he's going to be able to come here and just do what we need? If Antonio gets injured and the pressure's going to be on.
I guess it's somebody that was interested in coming. I think the deal's off anyway. I don't think it's going to happen. But different players suit different clubs. But
it's the Arnautovic rumours have completely died out. Like
it's because he dismissed them. He come out and said he's staying where he is.
Mm.
So all the liars, you can't keep on saying he might come back.
Here's one for you, Nick. Ian, you having a chat with a red men before Sunday?
I had a chat today. There's a video going up tomorrow.
I know, I see it. That's why I put the video. That's why I put that comment up.
Lovely jubbly. I bet £5 super chat from Turan Sifsi. Do you guys feel it's finally time for West Ham, for the West Ham franchise? It's got to be American to hit European football. Of course it is.
Yeah. Listen, I know people think it might be too soon, but I don't think it's too soon. I think a club like West Ham should be in Europe. I think we all want to go on European trips and enjoy the adventures of Europe. What we're doing this season is amazing. I mean, you look at it this way. Exactly this time, like games gone past last year, we was 36 points behind Liverpool. We're 2 points behind them now. That's the difference between last season and this season. This amazing turnaround, and long may it continue. I know there's going to be times we're going to have a bad patch. We might go 3 or 4 games without winning, but wherever end this season ends up, unless we lose our next 18 games, it's an improvement on last season. But we can really push on this season.
And as Ahmed said, never be a commentator, Dan, but you would make a good pundit, which I chose that. But I'm being a bit professional. I chose that because it's going to segue into our next section, which is going to be Martin Keown. But before we do that, I've got to mention somebody who sent us a message earlier, a very heartfelt message, which I really appreciate. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get it out. My phone's going off. It's from a guy called David Jury, who's a regular watcher to the show, and he's messaged us a few times. He always, he says really nice things to us. He messages privately, but this is a very sad one. Just before we go on, he unfortunately, I won't read out his message because I don't know much of it. He would like to remain private, but he lost his son this week. He said he hasn't been watching the show, and he'd like us to raise a glass to his son. His son was 7. He was hospital to sepsis, and I just want to say we'll raise a glass for David tonight and to Alfie, and we are.
Yeah. I read that message just before we come on air, and it's very sad to read. As a parent, you can't imagine what he's going through, and I know he's a regular watcher of the show. So yeah, listen, thoughts and prayers go out to, no one should bury a child. It's thinking of you, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. Is that better? Is my volume better? People said about my volume.
Yeah. Oda Beku is. Sorry.
No, go on.
No, Oda Beku has just scored 2 goals for the under-23s.
Hopefully, he'll be on the bench for Sunday.
Yeah,
he's got to be, isn't he? I don't think unless fucking someone's coming in.
He looks a real talent, doesn't he? I think this might be the best crop of youngsters we've had coming through since when Zola was in charge, and we had Collinson, Hines, that era. I think we've got some good talent coming through. You know, it's exciting times at West Ham at the moment, especially with I think Connor Coventry's back as well from his injury, so hopefully he can get his fitness up because I think he'll be knocking on the door of the first team next season.
I think that's been the.
You should have ruined my segue.
Oh shit! Sorry.
It's all right. Go on.
No, I was just going to say it's the only downside. That's the only downside with our youth has been like injuries because we've had quite a few injuries. As you know, Silver, Coventry. I think Odebeku had an injury, so you know that's a shame because it just stunts that development. But yeah, it'd be great to see Odebeku get in on the bench and get some more opportunities. So really good news for that. But still need a striker.
What are you going on to now, Nick? TalkSport.
Yes.
All right.
I'm just trying to find it. I can't find it. I had it up earlier. I tried to download the video, but they wouldn't let me do it.
Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about something else while you're looking for it?
Yeah, go on.
Just quickly, I want to mention, and I think we have to mention it. 1 year ago today, we went shopping and got potato salad. Thomas Souček signed for West Ham 1 year ago today. What a signing he's been. You know, obviously he joined on loan, but it got made permanent in the summer. What a signing he's been. As I said the other night, I am worried that there's going to be bigger European clubs looking at him. Souček seems happy. And do you know what I love about him? He's so down to earth. Do you see the other day when he dedicated his goals to his wife? Because it's things like that. He's a family man, you know. I love him. He's made such a difference to our, not only the team, the club. You know, but there are teams out there, big teams, thinking, how did he go under our nose? How did we miss him? Because what a signing he's turned out to be.
Do you know what? I see some tweets from some other fans who go, oh, he doesn't do anything else but score, Souček. And I think, like, do you even watch the defensive work that he does, the tackles?
I think a lot of people, right, and Dan, I don't think they do. I honestly don't. We're about to get onto the TalkSport thing. I honestly don't think that some of these people do. You know, and fuck me, what is football about? It's about goals. I'll just take someone scoring. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he doesn't just do that. He plays in midfield. He brings the best out of Rice.
Jack Woods just said it's his girlfriend's first time watching Friday Night Pint, so do your hair next time, Nick.
Pressure.
He doesn't just score goals. He breaks up play. He affords Rice to go forward and takes the pressure off Rice. And nonsense.
He put in some fantastic tackles.
Do you know what? As you said, mate, he's just as good in our box as he is in the other end. You know, he does so much work. You know, he's not the most skillfulest player. You won't see him try to do what Benrahma does, but he does the simple stuff. And that's what makes a good football player. That's why some of these football players go to the very top. Because as you see with Declan Rice wins the ball back. He gives it straight to Benrahma, Bowen, Fornals. You know, Declan Rice will go for runs, but that's what makes good players. They go unnoticed. Sometimes people think that the players have to do tricks and flicks all the time. It's not about that. You look how many. I bet Souček wins as many headers in our area, clearing corners, as he does up the other end. And he scored 10 goals since he's been at the club in 30 odd appearances. We ain't had a midfielder like that who plays in his position for a long time. So long may it continue. He's been. I'd say he's probably been our best signing or most signing us made a difference since Payet in his first season. First season.
I think so. Yeah, David Jury is watching. He just said about that little segue. Thanks, guys. God bless you all. Appreciate that. Raising a glass for the little man. Hope he will be up there following West Ham, cheering us on. Of course he will. David,
take it, David.
We're all thinking about you, mate. Honestly, God's honest truth. Right, let's get onto this segue. I found it, so I'm going to play the audio.
At least if you ain't heard this, brace yourself for some bullshit. But yeah.
Right. So let's play this audio.
Something I'd like to mention, and this continued banter with West Ham fans, Yeah, so I'm going to bring this on my head now. But isn't it interesting how well West Ham are doing without any supporters in the ground? Now, I know that the West Ham fans, it's controversial to say this, but they are so difficult to please. And I hope they've got massive grins on their face now, because it's been a long time in coming. But when they come back to the ground, get behind the team. And all the tribulations they've had this season with different results, how would the fans have been if they'd have been in the stadium? David Moyes has been allowed to manage this football club as he feels fit. And I think what he's doing tactically is outstanding. The results they're picking up is really first class. And now West Ham, finally, they keep talking for years about what is the West Ham way. But I think it's interesting that they've done and played their best football when the fans haven't been there. I find it quite remarkable to mention.
Right, so that was that load of bollocks.
I'll be honest with you, I'll make him absolute right. I'm joking.
No, do you know what?
I'll be honest with you. For a bloke that has got so much loyalty to Arsenal, to slag our fan base off like that when his own fan base handed out a manager, a legend at their football club.
His manager.
Yeah, his manager. His manager that transformed his career. Listen, I listen to TalkSport in the mornings because I like the breakfast show. But anything after that, past when I turn my radio off when I get to work, I don't listen to it. I think it's all a load of bollocks what they talk on there. And I think what he said there was he doesn't know the football club. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I'll tell you what that is, Ryan. And I was going to do a video on this person, but I thought, no, do you know what? We should all have a say on this because it's such a load of nonsense. Yeah. That is the perfect example of a pundit that has no clue about what's going on in a fan base. And this, again, I'll keep on going back to this. This is why you don't listen to these pricks. You should listen to the fans of the football club, because the fans at the football club, they watch the football club. Is he honestly suggesting that all of a sudden we've picked up results because we're not there? We're difficult to please. We haven't won a fucking cup in 41 years, and we fill that stadium up week in, week out. We've got one of the best away travelling fan bases in the fucking country, bar none. And I won't be told any different. We sell everything out week in, week out. A 60,000 seater stadium. When we're difficult to please. I've never heard such nonsense in all my life, and that is another reason why. Don't listen to these people. Don't listen to them because they have got no clue what they're talking about. We are 100% always behind our team. We'll let them know when we don't think they're putting in the fucking effort. We'll let them know, like every fan base, like the Chelsea fan base are at the minute, like the fucking Arsenal fan base have over the years. Yeah, of course, we pay our money. We're entitled to be able to say whether we think they've given enough effort or not. But never. What is confusing there is a disdain for our owners, which still exists, and it will still go, to not supporting the team. We have always supported our team.
Yeah.
Always.
I mean, even when we've been relegated, I remember going to West Ham on a Tuesday night, and we played. I can't remember who it was now, but it was sold out, the bowling, on a Tuesday night. We us fans, we don't give up on our team. All right, we might not like some players, or we might not like the board, we might not like the manager, but we still turn up, and for 90 minutes, we want them to perform and do well. And the thing is, Martin Keown, when I heard that, I had to listen to it twice because I thought it was a joke at first with what he said. I mean, it just proves that he doesn't watch West Ham. He doesn't know about the club. He's just doing what he's paid to do. He's doing what he's saying, what he's paid to say. He's trying to be a pundit. And look, at the end of the day, everyone's got opinions, mate. Everyone's got opinions. If that's his opinion, fair enough. But it's the wrong opinion.
Why would he be digging out us? So what about Manchester United? Are they doing better because their fans ain't in the ground? What about Aston Villa? Are they doing better because their fans are in the ground?
I know what he said, but if you look since lockdown, the home games we've lost, Burnley, Newcastle. There's a lot of games that we've lost at home. Brighton when we drew. So I don't listen. I'm not going to say that the crowd's not being there hasn't affected the players in a good way, because it probably has, because it takes the pressure off them a bit when they go 1-0 down. But I'm guaranteeing you, them players and manager would rather have them fans there.
Go and ask Declan Rice whether he likes playing without the fans. Go and ask Thomas Tuchel whether he likes to play without the fans. Go and ask all of them people.
But Soufal, he hasn't even seen the fans. And can I just point out, he only cost us 5 million, by the way. But he hasn't seen fans.
No, he's only good because there's no fans. That's what we're saying.
Like, the season is crazy because it ain't got no fans, because there's no intimidation for anybody. Like, you can't blame fans for intimidation. You can't turn around and say Upton Park was so brilliant because it used to intimidate players, and then turn around and go, don't intimidate players. It's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. And it's just someone that, I'll be honest, I think there's an agenda there on TalkSport. I think they're told about things that they can and can't say. They had the Hammers United guide on the other day. He didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't listen to it. But the consensus is he didn't do a very good job at explaining himself, and they didn't let him explain himself. But you got Jim White. You got fucking Jim White who just talks up the board and all of that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden you got other pundits, including Colton Cole and Trevor Sinclair, going, we should ease off of them now. I think there's an agenda there.
Can I just say one thing on the Colton Cole and Sinclair thing? I think what they've said is taken a bit out of context. I know what they're saying, what they're trying to say, and the way they've said it has come across wrong. Because Colton Cole, Trevor Sinclair, they're all for the fans, that. But I just think with the way their interviews come across, what they're trying to say is, look, let's back the team. And they're saying, forget about the board, which we've said on here as well. We've said, look, let's not ever forget GSB out. We want them out. We want them long gone. But when the team's playing well, the manager's doing well, there's good vibes about the club, sometimes you just have to put that aside for a little while. I'm not saying forget about it. And that's what I think they was trying to say, but it come across the wrong way.
Right, I understand that. But it's the way I listen to it, the way TalkSport have taken it out of that context to fit their agenda. And what I'm saying is, don't forget GSB out. But at the moment, there's fuck all we can do about it. There's nothing. You can't protest. You can't go to the games and be vocal about it. You can't do nothing. Just enjoy being in the top four. When we go back again, then, don't do it in a stadium, and don't do it here, don't do it there, whatever, but make your voice heard again. But at the minute, there's really nothing you can do. But to have someone like Martin Keown more or less blaming the fans not being, if that's the case, shut the stadium down. We won't go again.
Yeah. If that's really how it works, that's it. We won't go. But it makes me laugh. He said we've played our best football without the fans there. What about 14-15 under Big Sam when we was in the top four at Christmas? What about 15-16 under Slaven Village?
There's been no season at all. And if you look at the pattern of the way we go, we have a good season and we have 4 bad. And what we've got to try and do is we've got to try and break that mold. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the way West Ham have been all the way through. There's always been fans. This is the only season, and then look, they're doing better now. There ain't fans now. No, maybe they're doing better now because the manager's had a bit of time. Maybe they're doing better now because the manager's got a couple of players in that he wants. Maybe they're doing better now because they've changed the way they train. They've changed their mentality. They've implemented a fucking thing. It's not nothing to do with the fact. I think that is an absolute lazy, stupid bit of. And the thing that worries about me is that is a national platform, and that's what we get accused of when fans. That's why they don't understand. Watch these channels. Watch the West Ham channels when you want to know what's going on at West Ham, because we'll tell you.
Yeah, and the thing is, that's not just disrespectful to the West Ham fans, it's disrespectful to the players, because those players have done really well. They've put in some hard work, they've put in some great performances, and just their performances to no fans. Yeah, David Moyes, the manager as well, and the backroom staff, the whole team. It's disrespectful because they've done it, they've put in the work, they've put in the performances, and to dismiss it as it's because the fans ain't there, they'd be shit. Like they ain't professional enough to play in front of the fans.
I hate it. I hate it that they do that, because the fans are what make football. The fans are what make football. So to sit there and basically blame them for the reason why football teams, play back. Would you want that money or not?
Yeah.
Do you want us to watch it or not?
Is with Martin Keown,
if you don't like playing in front of sorry, mate. If you don't like playing in front of fans, go and play on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, as I was going to say, the thing is with Martin Keown, he had such a successful career at Arsenal that he never experienced backlash and things like that. So he don't really understand. And this club has been through. We've been through a lot of shit. I know Andy from Hammers United went on to TalkSport yesterday, and it didn't go down well. I'm the same as you. I didn't listen to it. I've just read the comments and all that. But when you're up against someone like Jim White and Simon Jordan, you have to be prepared. And I didn't listen to the interview. So
from what I read, his downfall was that I can understand the mindset he went into it. He didn't want to go over the same points, and he didn't want to focus on GSB out. So he started talking about having a dialogue with the club and all of this, and he couldn't really get his point across. But really, go over the same points, because as much as everyone tries to say you're fourth, so us being fourth in January undoes everything else. That if we do start cheering for him and there's just so much it's a fucking internet, Virgin Media. No, I'm just saying,
you ain't logged on to Scotland in there, have you?
Yeah, I've got the Scott thumbnail freeze frame. Fucking curse. No, but there's so much ammunition there, just off the top of your head, that you can pull out, right? That it's just it's so easy just to leave that off the table. I think it's a really it's a missed opportunity, and it's sort of made us look a bit silly. And I don't want to put too much pressure on the bloke, but
I see it today. I see it today that Hammers United are on this supporters board thing that they've made up now. You've got obviously Pride of Irons and all the groups that have come together. So hopefully they'll yourself. You go on national radio. Your mind goes blank. You don't think of things. You should be more prepared. But look, they might have a chance now to sit down around the table with the owners or Brady, whoever it's going to be, and put their points across, because they have got a good support. And I support them, what they're trying to do.
Zach95 says, I wish you guys got to go on TalkSport. Listen, I've got no interest on going on TalkSport. I've got no interest. I've got no doubt in my mind that with things that I'm quite good at arguing. Do you know what I mean? I think I'd rip them two to pieces. If they wanted to know what was the problems at the club, I think I'd give them, things that they wouldn't be able to reply to. That Simon Jordan can sit there talking about and using all the big long words that he wants, but I'll tell him straight. At the end of the day, football club owners should be listening to their fans, and they don't. And they've took us down a road. They promised things, to shut us up at the time, and then when you start to, ask, we're not demanding anything. When Martin Keown saying we're hard to please, how are we hard to please? Well,
as you said, we ain't won a trophy in 41 years.
We were happy to say, well, we wasn't doing what we was. It's them that promised us, yeah, we'll take you here, and in exchange for that, we'll get you in the Champions League, and we'll be, they sold their season tickets on the basis of, yeah, fucking, we'll be able to compete with Bayern Munich and Man United. In what?
They was talking about financially, didn't they?
Yeah, they was talking financially. They were saying we would be one of the biggest financial, powerhouses in the Premier League. We'd become a financial prize, and all of this. We didn't ask for that. That's what they said. That's what they said they would give us. So what? So what? Fans are the problem because they asked for what they was promised. If Arsenal promised him £100,000 a week to play football from, but they only give him 40, what would he do? Shut up?
Yeah. Matt's just put it there. This was the thing. World class stadium for a world class team. That's what we got. And we got nothing. Listen, I'm not saying now that we ain't building towards having a not a world class team, but a great team. We are building, but that comes down to, for me, David Moyes, backroom staff, players that we've got there who are working harder, the players that we've brought in. Look, it don't matter if we win the FA Cup this season. If we done a Leicester and won the Premier League, I don't think no one's going to forget about GSB out. So We're the most loyal fans in the country.
Carl English, I truly think not having fans there has let the boys get back into games. You fans wouldn't have let them. Every time we would go down, all you freaking say is GSB out. So it does have an effect. How the fuck does that have an effect? How are we stopping them from getting back into the game? Hard work gets you back into games.
The thing is,
it's disrespectful to the team.
I can sort of understand what he's just said there, because there are times when, especially under Pellegrini, we go 1-0 down. I remember the Leicester game, and he actually got sacked after that game. The fans on your back. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. But we've done that for years. We've always done that. Whatever we've been Championship or Premier League, we've always done that. That is just football. That's a natural reaction. When you're losing, you're on their backs, and players usually either step up or they hide. And the thing is, with the team now, I think even if the crowds were there now, this team would not hide. I don't get that. And David Moyes would not let them hide. He wouldn't let his players just fade out the game. Under Pellegrini, towards the end of his spell, we go 1-0 down, their heads would drop, and we lose 2-3-0. I've seen us go 1-0 down in games. How
many times Man United have gone behind this year?
Yeah.
So you're telling me they're at Old Trafford, Man United fans wouldn't be going absolutely fucking mental if they've got 1-0 down to Burnley?
The other night at Selhurst Park was a perfect example. We went 1-0 down after 2-3 minutes, and what do? We don't let our heads drop. We think, right, we've got a game plan now. Let's stick to it, and we win.
I just think it's so lazy, especially, and it always seems to be us, because we've had the most to shout about. It's so lazy to blame fans or to say that fans. Of course, fans sway games. That's what fans are there for. They sway them in favour and they sway them out of favour. That's what fans do, and that's why this is such a fucking strange one. But don't sit there, digging West Ham out and ain't it strange? If that was the case, then lock up the stadium. We won't go back, and we'll just carry on having success. But you can't turn around and say, it's all the fans' fault and all that, because Man United would be in the same boat. Arsenal would be in the same boat. I mean, look, Arsenal have just turned around their season. The club that he played for at the beginning of the season, they was in a relegation fight. So you're telling me when they're going 1-0 down to Southampton at home in December, their fans wouldn't have been fucking, this is bollocks and all. They're more than anybody. So I just don't get the reason that he would say things like that.
They've always vilified us. They've always done it, mate.
One thing I've always said about our fan base is that I keep going back to the Championship, because I used to turn up at a bowling and it was sold out all the time, And we're sold out on a Tuesday night at home to Doncaster, and Chelsea and Arsenal are advertising Champions League tickets in the paper. That shows the difference of level, because this club we've always stuck by the team. As much as sometimes we might hate the players or hate the owners or the manager, we always turn up. We always sit here and moan, I ain't getting back. We always do, because that's what we do. We're loyal. And that's the one thing with this club is, people talk about sleeping giants. A club like West Ham with their fan base could be massive. All we need is these owners out, new owners in. We've got the right manager, the right players, the right team. The fans are perfect. I can't speak highly enough of our fans. Home and away, I've seen us sold out every away game. Don't matter where we're going, Burnley, wherever, we're there. And that's the thing with our club. And that's one thing they'll never take away from us.
The thing is, people want to, a lot of these media, they want to praise Gold and Sullivan because we're fourth and now fifth in January, right? After season of shit, after relegation. But for me, I would have to see this over 3 seasons of consistently being in these positions before you can even think to say, they're building something, they're doing a good job. Because even if we finish 5th or whatever end of this season, and then they might sell a key player, they might get in someone shit, and then we're back it down in the bottom. We need consistency. So all of a sudden we're expected to just go, forget everything. God, they've finally achieved it because now in January, when we still got half a season to play, we're fourth. It's bollocks. They're so sensational and just short term. They was pipping us for the relegation in August.
He was like that under Big Sam one year. We was fourth at Christmas. He ended up getting sacked at the end of the year. This success that the team are having now is down to the hard work of the players. The players have worked fucking hard to get into this position, and they're all working hard for each other. The management team, it's got absolutely nothing to do with them, because and to be fair, all he should be doing, and this is one of the problems of why he is a problem. All he should be doing is signing checks for the manager, and he hasn't always done that. You know, you can see that some of the players that we've been linked with and some of the players that have been leaked, David Moyes ain't really that keen on. And
to be fair, Nick, I mean, Sullivan, Goal, they've stayed out of it, ain't they? They've stayed out of the press the last few months. You know, David Moyes is taking all the credit, and rightly so.
10 years.
No, I know that. But what I'm saying is that the last few months, you know, that David Gold's not, he just retweets things and things like that. But David Sullivan's been out of the media. It's what we all wanted.
It ain't been that long though, mate, because he was in the media like September. David Sullivan was doing interviews and shit. Yeah. So, and now I imagine this Jim White, you know, he's probably gone and slipped him some text messages and been like, "Oh, that's how it
always happens. What I'm saying is, I remember the days when you wouldn't even know the fucking chairman's name.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I just think that this success now is, as Nicky said, it's all down to David Moyes. It's all down to the backroom staff. It's down to the players that are working hard. You know, this is a team. All we've ever wanted is a team to be proud of, a squad to be proud of, a manager to be proud of. And I think David Moyes has won over a lot of people. There's still people out there that won't admit that they enjoy it, but you know, this is, for me, what I'm seeing at the moment is what I've wanted to see from West Ham for a long time. You know, even before the Slaven Bilic era, I've wanted to see this for a long time at West Ham. And I think we're slowly starting to see that, because I think that even when we lose the game, we seem to bounce back straight away. And listen, we're not going to win every game. We know that. But it's how quick you bounce back. And we're doing that well this season. And even when we go 1-0 down in games, we're showing that we can get back into the games. Every game we've lost this season, barring the Newcastle game, Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, we've all come on here on post-match point and said we should have got something out of that. And that is the difference.
And look at it this way. Moyes came out and said we're behind every other team in terms of scouting. It shows how still piss poor organised we are. And did you see one of the women's players that went to Everton have said like how great their facilities are, their training facilities. Even the women who used to playing at fucking Dagenham Redbridge every week was playing in a field in Hornchurch just 5 years ago as shitting on our fucking training facilities. Even they think it's shit. And the level they're used to playing at, it's just hilarious.
I mean, for me, like with the training grounds situation, I mean, I know people look at Leicester and they look at City and they've got great training facilities. But listen, we've had teams,
Championship and League One players have better.
We've had to train on. But we've had to train on Chadwell, which was a shithole. But legends have played on there. Bobby Moore, Billy Bonds, Trevor Brook in Devonshire, they've all trained on that. Listen, they go in there, they train, they go home. As long as they win on match days, I don't care what they're training on.
Mate, it's a different game. Like,
I think we'd rather us spend £100 million on a new training ground or £100 million investment into our squad.
Well, we've invested £100 million on two players and it just didn't work out. I'd rather us sort out our scouting network and invest in our training ground, because you look at it this way, right? And they was leading us to believe, right, it's the stadium that attracts the players. It's not the stadium that attracts the players. The training ground, more than the stadium, attracts the players, because the training ground is where they spend the majority of their time. You know, we had Hugo went to Norwich and said how much better their training ground was than ours. Players
I don't think it's a coincidence. I don't think it's a coincidence that it keeps getting mentioned.
But I'll be honest with you, the training ground facilities doesn't bother me. They go in, they train on grass, which
bothers the players.
But Julian Dix actually said in an interview the other week that the facilities, the training pitches at Rush Green are 10 times better than Chadwell. They go out, they train. I don't care if they get changed in the change rooms, in the back of their cars, whatever. They go home as long as they perform on Saturday and get results.
You don't care about that, but potential players might care about it. They see that and go,
yeah, I agree with that, because they should have, they're professional footballers. Like, football's moved on from the days of like, you know, Chadwell training grounds and all that. That's why these teams are are building these sort of almost scientific training centres, because the science of the game, that they know so much more. They used to get into pre-season training and they do 2 fucking laps round Epping Forest, and then that'd be their sort of pre-season training. It's not like that anymore. It's a science. It's a real science. And they've taken it from the American thing.
Would you? All right. So if we spent 300 million on this state-of-the-art training centre, but we went down to the Championship, down to League One, would you turn around then and say, "Well, at least we have the training ground"?
No, what I'm saying is I don't think it's one or the other. Tottenham have managed to do it. Tottenham have managed to build a training facility, a stadium, and sign players. Leicester have managed to do it. Clubs in the lower leagues have managed to do it. I think there should be a steady investment, and that's what we don't get from.
Tottenham also borrowed 800 million from the banks.
Well, so if that's what it takes, right, to make us a top Premier League club,
I honestly don't understand the training ground facilities. I really don't, because they're there for like 3 hours a day. They're on grass. The pitches are perfect there. It's just because we ain't got a state-of-the-art changing.
They're not perfect. They've been said they're not perfect on there.
What player have you seen come out then and say that Rush Green ain't perfect?
Hugh Gill.
Oh, yeah. Let's listen to Hugo.
There's been a few players, ex-players. There's been several ex-players that have come out.
Who? No, I'm on about players now.
What do you mean? What players that currently play? They're not going to say it. They're not going to shit. They're not going to shit on our training ground, are they?
Why not? Why not?
Because they work for the club. Why are they going to shit on the club? They're media trained. They're not going to come out and say, "Oh, the training pitch isn't good enough." They might say it to their mate. They might say it to each other. It's fun. They're not going to come out and knock the club until they leave the club.
Listen, they could go back over Hermit Road Park and train on there. It doesn't matter. You train on grass. You play on grass. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about them having a fucking changing room with fucking iPhones.
No, what we're saying is you're not worried about it, but we're talking about prospective players. What I'm saying is a player, say it's between us and Everton, right? They come to Everton, they come and see our facilities. We're both offering the same money, right? The same wages. They look at Everton, they think, fucking hell, this is professional, this is state of the art. It's a sign of a club that's going places, a sign of ambition.
If a player turns up and chooses a club over a training pitch, then I won't want them at my club.
It's a factor.
To be fair, right? Hold on. Let me interject here, right? If you went to work for a firm, if you went to work for a company, say for instance, Coca-Cola offered you a job, and some other firm offered you a job, right? Now the other firm are fucking working out the back of porter cabins, and this other firm's got a big London office. Why do you think it'll be cheaper for say?
I'll tell you what though. I'll be honest with you, mate. When I looked at my online banking at the end of the month and I see my wages in there, it won't really bother me.
No, I don't think if the wages were the same in either company.
I just think it's a sign of professionalism. I know what you're saying, right? It wouldn't bother me. Football should be football, but we're living in an age now where that sort of thing does bother people. People are materialistic,
Okay. So let me just put this to you then. If West Ham spent 300 million or 200 million on a brand new train,
300 million.
Hang on, because that's what it's going to cost. Well, that's what it's going to cost, isn't it? All right, what's it going to cost?
How do you know?
What's it going to cost?
But wait a minute, you started at 100
Hang on, no, I'm asking you, what will it cost?
But
I'm asking you that question. Just answer my question.
All right, let's put out there the 100 million. What you said, right?
100 million, right? So if West Ham spent 100 million on a brand new state-of-the-art training ground, but didn't invest in the team, and we got relegated,
why is that the choice?
Yeah, why is that? Why is it go down or invest in?
That's what I'm just saying. But that's what I'm saying. What would you?
What if we didn't invest in the stadium? We did get relegated.
Why is that the choice?
I might as well. I'm going to log out because.
Why can Leicester spend 100 million and invest in their team? Why can Tottenham invest in their stadium and their facilities and their team? Why is it? Oh, we can spend 100 million on training ground.
I'm asking you a question. If we invested 250 million into the training ground, but we couldn't afford to put it into the squad because we haven't got billionaire backers like some of these clubs, and we got relegated.
Yes, we have.
What would you do?
Well, yeah, we have got billionaire.
On paper, but he hasn't got it financially to do it. Businesses are worth that. This is what I'm saying. Does it really bother you that much that we have to have a state-of-the-art training ground? I'm more worried about results on the pitch. And
but listen, it could be they could at least make it fucking half presentable. Like even if they invested after 100 million, we're not saying that they got to slap down that money tomorrow.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll email them and I'll ask them to paint the porter cabins for you.
Yeah, that'd be a start. That would be a start.
I'll see if Del Boy still got some of that luminous paint.
Can't we have some fucking bricks?
I think it's a disadvantage because they're, you know.
I see the Newcastle fans talk about it as well because they're in a similar situation. They have their players fucking sitting in paddling pools with ice cubes in it and shit like that. Like, it's serious. The pictures are online. Like,
whoever you said about the League One team that's got a state-of-the-art training ground, I guarantee you now they'd swap that training ground to be in our position.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's not. It shouldn't be a case of that's the cost. You know what I mean? It's either or. Like, well, you can have it, but you'll get relegated. Do you know what I mean? Like, they've been in charge for years and years and years and years. This could be something that they've put aside money over time. And then
that's what I'm saying, because if West Ham had 200 million and they spent 150 million on a training ground and we didn't invest in the playing squad, they're going to get backlash for that. You know, I understand. Listen, I do understand. I'd love to see West Ham with
they've saved £40 million a year in wages over the squad we had 2 years ago. £40 million in wages. I worked that out. And like, if a good training facility, which has got like training facilities are not just. It's not like it's easy for us to say because we've never been at that level. But it's not just grass, changing room, home. It's like they've got recovery facilities, catering facilities. It's science now. They've got all these fucking analytic rooms and, you know, places where they can take fitness tests and they can always, like, you know, work out how to get the full potential, how to stop injuries, how to get the full potential out of players and all that. And they're all building these like recovery pools and all that sort of thing. It's such a science.
That's where the game's going.
I just feel that, you know, teams like Leicester, you know, the reason Leicester are doing so well is because they've developed this sort of thing. You know what I mean? They've got these things. They barely get any injuries and all that. It's a science now. It's easy for me and you to say because we've never played at that level and we never will play at that level.
Apart from Masuaku, we've got a fully fit squad and we haven't had many injuries.
But for the first time in how many years?
Yeah. Look at it this way. The board were prepared to buy this stadium with what we'd had to believe, right, until Barry Earn and all of that contested it in Tottenham, right? So if that's true, right, they was going to buy the stadium, spend money on it. Then Barry Earn popped in and then they was like, okay, well, we'll, you know, rent the stadium. They had the money there to go and buy the stadium. They didn't have to spend the money to buy the stadium. Surely they
had no money to buy a stadium. They would have to borrow it.
No, but they went to buy. They would have had to borrow the money. That's what I'm saying. If they would have went to buy the funds and acquired the funds to buy the stadium, if they would have done that, which now they haven't done it, surely they could acquire the funds to develop the training ground. And it could be something to develop over time. Like you upgrade it to a level, and then we go right. Then we'll add the fucking, you know, the this room, and then we'll add that room. You know, it's one of the things, and it's obviously it's difficult. You know, when it comes to money, but I just don't think that we should be behind the likes of Norwich when it comes to the.
They're not going to invest anything. They're not going to invest anything. That's the truth. And at the moment, with them two, it will be a choice between training ground or players. And at the minute, I would say players because we haven't got a fit centre forward at the club. But they're never going to do that because then, nobody's ever going to convince me otherwise, but they're not in it for the long haul now. You know what I mean? They've done their stint. They're going to be looking to get out very soon. As soon as they're allowed to take 100% of that profit, they're looking to go out. So they're not looking at the fact of, oh, let's set them up for the future. They're looking at the fact of, let's see what we can do now. You know, they're not going to invest in any sort of property or anything like that. It was always about making a profit for them, and that's fine. But if it's going to come at the cost of, you know, not leaving us in a good spot to the points where we're going to go down, then they haven't done a good job. But now it's down to a long-term investor, someone with a vision for the club, someone that's going to take the club forward, to come take it off their hands and say, right, we need the best facility. Let's not kid ourselves. They're not doing any of that because they're not going to.
And that's what I'm saying. Man City didn't have that. Man City didn't have that until they got new owners.
Exactly.
So Leicester didn't have that until they got new owners. So that's what I'm saying. At the moment, training ground don't really bother me. When we get new investment and new owners, then yeah, they will upgrade the training ground. We'll probably move from Rush Green to somewhere else, and it'll be the state-of-the-art facilities, and we can all sit there and talk on Saturday night saying, "Wow, look at the changing rooms and look at the whirlpool." And,
no, it's not about that. They are the sort of things that attract players. They are the sort of things that attract players. Whether you'd like to, whether you like to, admit it or not, when a player goes in, if he goes to Leicester and he's looking at this big fucking facility and he's going to West Ham and he's walking in a porter cabin and his foot goes through the floor when he's trying to lift a weight, what I mean?
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I honestly don't. You can, I don't agree with that. I think it's the Premier League attracts players. West Ham. You can go to Leicester. They don't go to Leicester and think, okay, they've got a lovely spa. They go to Leicester thinking they won the Hang on. They won the Premier League. They won the Premier League a few years ago. They're near the top of the table. You're telling me now if a player come over and walked in, had a choice between West Ham and let's say, I don't know, Burnley, they're going to choose West Ham.
Yeah, but we're talking about factors, because when you choose a club, you're not just going off one thing. You're weighing up multiple factors, and then you weigh it all up, and then you make your decision. And the training facilities are one of the things that you add and weigh up, along with wages, ambition of the club.
Exactly.
Which training facility indicates. That's what I'm saying. It's a factor. It is a factor. Along with other things, they never it won't be just because of Leicester was here, won the league 5 years ago. They won't just go to Leicester for that. No. What I'm saying is, it won't just be because of that. They won't go to Leicester. It also comes down to 20 grand a week, by Leicester, right? A top player was offered 20 grand a week by Leicester. They won't go because they won the league 5 years ago, but I'll take the 25.
No, but if they was offered 20 grand a week by West Ham and 20 grand a week by Leicester, they'll probably look at it as they've got more chance of winning the league than us.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's factors. It's multiple factors contribute to a choice. So we're not saying that it will just be the fucking. It
also gives people the impression and players the impression that you're investing for the future, making it future proof. It's not a selling fact that we can fucking pick it up and take it with us if we go somewhere else. Do you know what I mean?
Surely investing in the squad matters. No.
Yeah, but we're not professional footballers. Look, I might not be right, and you might not be right. This might mean absolutely fuck all when we've spent 20 minutes arguing about it. But that's the impression I get. There's a reason why these clubs. There's a reason why these clubs like Leicester and that. Leicester were in League One 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whatever it was.
They nearly relegated the season after they won the Premier League.
Who?
Yeah, but they went to the quarterfinals of the Champions. The semi-finals of the Champions League that season.
Quarterfinals, but they was nearly relegated as well.
There's nothing. Table. Yeah, but quarterfinals.
Sacked Ranieri after 4 months. Bloke that won in the league.
Yeah, but I know that was terrible. I just think it. Look, going back to the training ground, we'll just finish up on this one, unless you want to say anything else. But I just think it gives the impression that you're looking, you're investing into the club. It does.
We do own it, don't we? We do own it. The training ground. We own that land.
No, I don't. I think we rent it.
No, wasn't it? Isn't that the ground that?
Ford's old ground.
Ford's. Yeah, it's Ford's. We bought that.
Actually. The one that. No, we. I don't know.
I remember hearing that we bought it years ago, didn't we? Because everyone was talking about what was going to build on it, and what was. I remember years ago that came out. I'm sure
it's mortgaged.
Yeah, it's mortgaged, right? So there's a difference between mortgage and rented. There's a difference between a mortgage and a rental. Right? It's still your training ground. It's your house. If you mortgage a house, it's your house. If you rent a house, it's not your house. But yeah, the thing is as well, when we talk about spending on players as well, I had this sort of argument with someone or debate with someone earlier and talking about this season and, they're spending, because someone said to me, and people say GSB don't spend money. It's like we have made nearly around £50 million on sales since August. So that when we look at spend and what they've spent, they haven't really put anything additional TV money or all this other investment. It's just been, we have had to sell to buy. We have been in that situation. So we're not in a situation, even without spending on a training ground, where we can spend.
Yeah, we ain't spent nothing.
Look at this one. Look, your friend is living in the 50s. The thing is, that training ground was good for our players in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, mate. So
it's just, yeah, but that's the thing. But like, obviously, you look at them times, going on the piss the night before and smoking fucking 40 a day was good enough for players. Like, that's my point.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say I know times have moved on. And listen, I'd love to have a big state-of-the-art training ground. I would, but at the moment, as I said, things like that don't really bother me. Some people take it to heart and they want a nice training ground. I get that. And yeah, it might attract better players and that, but I think stadiums and teams and managers, they attract the players more than what
I don't think stadiums attract them at all.
I do.
Why would they?
If you had the choice between Old Trafford and Turf Moor, what are you going to choose?
No, obviously. But again, we're going back to it's a factor, not the factor. I don't. They thought they was going to walk into fucking London Stadium and Messi's going to go, cool, I want to go and play there. Loads of teams like Marseille.
If you remember when we signed Andre Ayew, when he walked out into that stadium the first time and he was like taken back by it, because it is, when you stand pitch level, I know what people think when they sit in the stands, and I think it as well when you got the gaps and all that, but pitch level, it is an attractive stadium. So it is a massive, that I think is a factor. I think it also comes down to the team, the squad, the manager. So look, let's move on from this training ground bollocks now because it's boring me.
All right. Anything else? What else we got?
Yeah, I mean, no, just
we got to mention Alicia. What's her name?
Dixon.
Layman. Not Alicia Dixon. Alicia Layman, is it? Moved to Everton.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what? There seems to be some sort of exodus from the women's team. Like, there's a few players that have been sort of shipped out. There's a big.
And you know why I write that? Because it's training ground, and I'm only joking.
No, a lot of people are saying that Jack's lost interest. Like, Jack Sullivan's lost interest in it, or the new manager seems to be who ain't got much experience is sort of shipping people out. Like, there's been a few. Yeah, that was it. Another lady went to Tottenham on loan. There seems to be a few.
Mark says I lost the argument, but I don't think there was an argument. I think it was just a debate and a discussion. I got my views. You've got your views. If everyone wants a state-of-the-art training ground, there's other people in the comments that agree with me. So,
yeah,
what can I say, Mark?
I don't know what the club press people are going to do now, because they seem to have marketed that whole fucking women's team on that woman.
Yeah, just give up his season ticket that he was going to get, and a lady team.
He had one on pre-order.
I tell you what, I think that's why she moved, because she knew Scott was getting a fucking ticket.
I think maybe what people are saying is right. Jack Sullivan's, he's losing his interest. He's done his apprenticeship there, and he's positive pass back. He's looking to try and worm his way into the men's side of things, and yeah, it's a weird one, but it's symptomatic, innit, of everything else that sort of goes on with the ownership and things like that.
Yeah, there seems to be a few of the ladies players leaving. I think someone left today on loan as well to Spurs. So
yeah,
I don't know what's going on, but all I know is that the men's first team is doing well. There's loads of positives around the club at the moment, and let's get back to some positive. Let's get back to some positives.
Has the fucking Lingard been announced yet?
Nah, still not yet. I reckon that's a 10. I reckon that's a 10 o'clock announcement or 9 o'clock. It's 10 to 9 now, so they seem to do it on the hour, don't they? These things. Fuck me, he must have a long fucking video, break dancing the lot.
Bloody hell! Odebeku got an assist to make it 3-1. So 2 goals and assist for Odebeku.
Can we talk about Liverpool before we go into Ask Us Anything?
Yeah, you can talk about Liverpool if you want.
Should we do that?
Yeah, listen. I watched Liverpool last night. As I said last week, they've got players that can ruin teams within 10 minutes, and they done that to Tottenham last night, and it's going to be a tricky game. But you know they've got a lot. Their back four's out.
They lost Matip, didn't they, last night?
Yeah, they've got Matip. We've got Antonio, Bowen, Fornals, Benrahma. You know, it's going to be really up for this game. So, listen, in my predictions thing that I do during the week, I said a 2-2, but that was before I watched last night's game. I don't know. I'll be honest, it's a game I can't call. But if we lose, it's not the end of the world. Let's just put it out there. It's not the end of the world. We're still in a good position. But I think this is a perfect opportunity for us. Because remember, Liverpool are champions. They're a great team, you know, but at the back, they're suffering. So this is where now, as I said, Antonio the other night against Palace, he missed a lot of chances. He's going to be so hungry to make up for that and score goals. And I just think West Ham could sneak a win in this game. I really do. I really think we can nick one.
I think you're right. I think this is going to give us a little bit of a benchmark. But don't get me wrong. Listen, we've had a fantastic season so far. We're in a position where we can only dream of. Do I think it's going to carry on? I'd be fucking naive to say yes. You know what I mean? Because that's unfortunately the West Ham way. But, you know, Leicester would have been in like this position and then maybe a little bit higher, you know, 5 years ago. Would they have ever dreamed about winning the league? No, of course they wouldn't have. They would have been saying it'll go to pot soon. You know, we're Leicester City. We're never going to win that Premier League. As you say, right, we seem to be coming against these teams at the right times. Liverpool are suffering, and that's what I was saying to Chris today on our preview. Is they're suffering at the back. The problem is you can have a castle, but if the foundations are taken out, you know it can still be it can be knocked down pretty easily. You know, they've got a front three that we have to worry about, but I worry about them less with the defence and the way we're playing.
The thing is, their front three over the last couple of seasons, especially, have ruined teams. They can do it within 10, 15 minutes. They can put the game out of sight. So our back four have to be on it. They have to be on that. But going forward, I can just see, I don't know. Why is Dan in here twice?
Sorry, my fucking internet.
I thought fucking Right Said Fred turned up then.
Fucking cheek of it, right? Virgin Media, have just sent me a letter the other day saying my bill's going up, and they're fucking shit like that. Like I might be moving, but
I'm too sexy for this show. Too sexy for this show. But no, okay. Listen, as I said earlier in the show, this time last season we were 36 points off of Liverpool. We beat them on Sunday. We go above them. So the turnaround's been amazing this season. So
Fred Mustafi might be playing for Liverpool by that time.
Mustafi, well, he can't play.
No, yeah, that's true. But you know what? Famous last words, but I do think it is the best possible time to play Liverpool. Obviously, they've got the injuries at the back. They've had a tough time of it. But also, they had a big game against Man United on the weekend. They had a big game against Tottenham on Thursday. Then just a few days later, they've got to play us, you know, on Sunday. So I think that there will be a little bit of fatigue that sets in. And, you know, Klopp has obviously complained about players being tired in too many games. So that seems to be a weakness. So, and I think it's a game that, regardless of whatever their form's been, it's a game will obviously raise our game for our players will rise because we always do. You know, we always rise to these sort of games. We was really unlucky not to come away with anything last time we played them. And that was when they was a lot better. And that was a lot earlier in the season. Now I think it's a good opportunity. Look, they could batter us, but I think there's no better time than now. And I think, look, if we get a draw, if we lose and we should have a good showing, I'll come away and be happy. But it's a good opportunity to win.
The thing is, if we win, that puts us on 38 points, and we move into obviously other results going our way. That we move into that top four again, and the games start getting less and less. And if you're still up there, who knows? You know, dare to dream. Because listen, they don't want a team like West Ham in the Champions League. They don't want that. Of course they don't. They want the big boys, the fucking big names in there. But how good would it be? I think personally, from what we done last season, if West Ham was to break into that top 4, I think it'd be a bigger achievement than Leicester winning the Premier League. I really do. Because where we was last season, and I remember at the beginning of the season, we was favourites for relegation. You know, Newcastle. Listen, what Leicester done was amazing.
But they did nearly go down the season before as well, Leicester. Yeah. They nearly got relegated.
Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm probably went a bit over the top there, but I think West Ham getting top 4 would be
huge.
Such a massive achievement. And I see last night, Tottenham lost to Liverpool. And as I said, Jamie O'Hara tweeted out, and the first thing he tweeted out, and now bearing in mind they've just lost Harry Kane for 6 weeks, whatever it is, they've just lost to Liverpool. First thing on his mind was West Ham.
Yeah.
Tweeting out about West Ham. And that's what I say. We live rent-free in their heads because we never mention them, they mention us. They're worried. Because if a team like West Ham finished above Spurs with Jose Mourinho, their big fucking £10 billion fucking stadium, their big whatever, that would hurt them.
They're not doing too well for a team that won the league back in when they scored the third against us, are they? You'd have thought they won the league.
They was really thinking they was going to win it.
As I said the other week, I've always sort of liked Man City because I remember where they was a few years ago, Division 1. I hope they give them a good fucking hiding in that final. I really do. But that's what I'm saying. They're so teams like that are so worried about West Ham reaching that top 4 because it'll upset them. Just like when Leicester won the Premier League, it upsets it. Team like Leicester, they shouldn't be in the Champions League. They shouldn't be playing against the big European clubs because they're Leicester City. No. That's not how football works. You win games, you earn your rewards.
That's why they lash out at the fans every time they're doing well.
The FA and the league start to make it a bit more difficult for you to win them games. I remember when we was up there, you know, we had a few fucking hooky decisions going against us. And we thought, good.
And we ain't had a penalty this season.
Yeah, no penalties.
No, yeah, exactly. But you think about the way it goes, like, and that people say, well, no one will convince me otherwise. This is my opinion. This is not fact or anything like that. I don't know anything, but we all thought VAR was going to stop that sort of nonsense, but it just means to make it even worse because the decisions that they're making are fucking mental. You know what I mean? Like the way they're measuring things through people's elbows compared to people's shoulders. I don't get it, but you know, they don't want it. They don't want all of that.
The thing is, if we beat Liverpool, can you imagine what TalkSport and all of that's going to come out and say? The way they've been talking about us now, right? If we beat Liverpool, they'll be like, they should worship Golden Sullivan. How dare these fans? You know, and it's going to be hilarious.
But they see it as an outsider, don't they? There's probably a lot of rival fans that look at West Ham and think, why are they moaning? But they don't see it from the inside like we do. So we could have opinions on.
To be fair,
I look at like Man United and think, why are they moaning? They're still one of the biggest clubs in the world. But then, if I spoke to a Man United fan, they'd probably tell me different things, and then I think to myself, all right, yeah, I understand now. It's just the way football is.
But they asked us why we're moaning every season. We could be bottom of the league, and they go, "Why are you moaning?"
Yeah, exactly. The thing is,
last season we nearly went down. Like, why are you moaning? Why are you blaming Golden Sullivan? Because it's their fault.
I'd rather have 3, 4 10th place finishes, right, than like 3 relegation battles and 1 6th place finish. I'd rather us, if looking forward as a progression of the club, have that. Because that's what I'm saying. When we're talking about, okay, we have a good season now, and all of a sudden we should start to change our thoughts process on the board. But then if we go and have a shit season next season, then what do we do when we go back?
Yeah, we had a great season last at the Bowling, and we never built on it, and that is why players like Dimitri Payet wanted out of the club, and whatever people say about his personal reasons, you know, he wanted out of the club, and we never sort of built on that season. That was the biggest mistake. If we'd have stayed at the Bowling the season after, it might have been different, but you know, we moved on, and this is what I'm saying. We can't have a good season now. If we finished 8th, right, that is still a great season for West Ham.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But it's about building for next season and think, right, we finished 8th. Let's try to aim for top 6. Let's try to break into that top 4.
Mm.
That's where you can judge them.
Yeah, I mean, even in January right now, we're in a really good position. But this is a time where we have the opportunity to then push on for that European spot by bringing in a striker or other players and other positions, trying to now cement it and say let's really go for it, because there could be a time where we get one injury and we start to fall, but we can we have a chance to go for it. Champions League is within our grasp right now. It's within our grasp. We might not get it, but while it's in our grasp, let's go for it. Let's strengthen the team and really have a good end to the season.
The longer we go on winning games, drawing games, and not losing that many, the games get lesser and lesser. And if we're still at that where we are now, who knows what could happen? I'm not saying West Ham going to get top 4, mate. I know that, but who knows? You can't. The way we are the way we're set up this season, injury free. Who knows?
But it's funny because it's going to be great because we. If we have a good season, fantastic, and all of that sort of thing. But it'll be interesting to see what happens if Antonio gets injured again and we've got no centre forward and we start to lose games and we slip down the league. It'd be interesting to see what the likes of TalkSport and things will be saying then when we're all whinging. Will they still be asking why we're moaning? Because there's a clear reason why we would be moaning, because
they won't talk about it.
At the minute.
I agree with you, mate, because it only takes Antonio to pick up an injury, Declan Rice to pick up an injury, Souček to pick up an injury, and then you start seeing it. But West Ham over the last few years, we've had some terrible injuries with our squad, but sometimes you need a bit of luck. And I just think that maybe this season might show, but you're right. We're only 1 or 2 injuries away from sliding down the table.
Yeah, but then will they see a reason why we should moan? Because they're the ones that they've got a chance at the moment to do something good, and that's sign the player we need, give him the money he needs to sign the player he needs. Yeah. If they don't do that and then we get the injury, are they going to take the blame? A TalkSport, then they're going to turn around and say, well, they're to blame for not doing that. They won't. They'll just say it's unlucky. It's unlucky. But they've got the opportunity right now. As I say, they've got the money. They've got they should have the budget. They've got the fucking means. They've got the position in the table. They've got something to actually attract a player to turn around and go, look, fucking sign for us and we can get the Champions League, yeah?
I hope we do sign a striker because, as I said last week, if not, I owe Chris a beer. But I still think we will sign a striker before the deadline day on Monday. I really think, and as I said, I think personally it will be Josh King.
It'd be interesting. I know Moyes has said there's nothing really close at the moment, but they're still trying. So, like I said, even if it turns out to be a loan, we just need someone in there. We need that backup, and we need someone also to push Antonio, and to say so he's not a given. I think that's really important.
I said the same last week, Dan. I said that I want someone to come in to challenge Antonio because I don't want Antonio to be pushed out on the wing because Antonio at the moment is in such good form. He's enjoying playing up front. He's relishing under David Moyes like Arnautovic did. And I'd rather see someone come in to challenge Antonio for that striker spot than put Antonio out in the wing just to suit this new striker.
I'll tell you what, I think this is a West Brom fan. Yeah, West Brom fan. Enjoy where you are, lads. At least you don't have Allardyce and Lai as your owner. So crazy, right? They sacked Slaven Bilic after he drew with Man City. Got in Allardyce, and Allardyce is doing even worse and got battered by Man City. It's such a baffling decision, by them when you look at it.
It is, and West Brom are a great club. I've always enjoyed going to Hawthorn, especially when we win. But they should have stuck with Slaven. I think he will have turned it around. I really do. Big Sam's obviously the safe choice. He's got a record of keeping teams up. And I noticed they signed a player early. And listen, they're not far off. They might get 3 or 4 wins and get out of it. But I just think that
Snodgrass was a good signing for them. I think a really, really good signing for them. So there is a few signings. But I think that is the big key is they've brought in Sam Allardyce, but there's all these Bilic type players. So they're not Sam Allardyce style players, you know, like Dean Garner and stuff like that. So it's going to be very hard, and this could be the first time we see Allardyce go down. But if they do get in a couple of players that do suit Big Sam, they could just scrape it. But I do feel sorry for them because
I was quite. I'll be honest. I was quite happy when West Brom come up because I like going to the Hawthorns. It's not far to travel to. It's a good little club. Everyone's like decent to you there, you know. And Leeds as well. I'm gutted we couldn't go to these grounds. It's a shame with everything that's going on at the moment, but you never know. Big Sam might get them out of it, you know.
Yeah. I just think it's like they were really enjoying the football under Bilic, and even when they were losing, they were still enjoying themselves, you know. And I think that's the thing when you sort of go to Allardyce, but you're playing the shit football and not getting results. It's a real kick in the teeth. So yeah, it's not good, not enjoyable time for those guys. We got them coming up, I think soon, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we've got who's our next? We've got Liverpool, then we've got Aston Villa, and then Fulham. So
is it Fulham? Maybe West Brom's after that. Then
it's a massive. It's a massive.
Check this, right, bloody. What about Aston Villa losing to Burnley? Right, I tell you, because every time someone tweeted about, look at West Ham, they're fourth. They'd be like, whoa, we got 3 games in hand. What about us? They fucking lost one of those games in hand to like Burnley. It was relegation Burnley. So it just goes to show.
Games in hand are not points on the board. I've always said
that. Exactly. You'd rather have points.
You know what? I've always rated Sean Dyche. I think he's a good manager and he's doing well. At you know, they got a great win the other day at Liverpool. You know, surprised us all. You know, ended their run of whatever it was, 697 games unbeaten at Anfield.
It's funny, right? We've played these teams. This is the thing, like, and I don't think these are like accidents. We've played these teams like Villa and that. We've beat them, and they've gone on to have decent form. I don't think it's like an accident that we're beating them. If that makes sense.
I like Burnley as well because Nick Tucker sorts out the cricket club on when we play them up there. So I do like Burnley. As I said, Sean Dyche is a passionate manager, good manager. I think they'll stay up. I think they're all right now. I think Sheffield United are gone, which I'm glad of. Good riddance to them.
Yeah.
I remember them last season laughing at us. And when we lost 1-0 there, and 28 points in front of them.
Yeah.
I'll wait for them not to go down, to be honest.
They can't blame us.
Trust me, I bet Tevez is shaking. They're probably waiting to get a lawsuit out on him or something. But
yeah. Dan, if we get Champions League, Ryan's doing a calendar. Nicky's dancing, singing an address. First time I'm hearing about this. What are you going to do? I'll have a think and I'll get back to you. I'll have a think. I tell you, if we get Champions League, mate, I'll have to do something.
I reckon you should stand on top of the London Stadium, do windmills.
Fucking hell.
Should we go to Ask Us Anything? Let's have a bit of joy to end the show.
Yeah, I got to go sort out dinner soon. So.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm starving.
Yeah, get your questions in. Last 20 minutes. Get your questions in. We'll ask you anything you want. If you want to know about us personally, our thoughts on West Ham, which we spoke about for the last. Don't ask my thoughts on the training ground. Dan, someone said shave your head. Here we go.
Did you notice the new Chelsea boss dropped Mount? He will come to us soon. He can come and just drop. Maybe if they don't fancy him, Rice can put in a word.
I love Mason Mount at West Ham. I think he's such a talent.
I think he's been treated quite harshly by the Chelsea fan base, which is why I won't.
I said to my mate who supports Chelsea, I said the new manager they got, he's going to bring in a lot of older players, German players, and you'll see like people like Billy Gilmore go out on loan and Mason Mount go out. But whatever you thought of Frank Lampard, at least he give youngsters an opportunity, and he was trying to build that at Chelsea. So, but anyway, the question tonight, Matt Powell, favourite flavoured Pringle.
Favourite Percy Pringle.
I love a barbecue. I'm not going to lie, I love a barbecue.
I used to like
everyone. Salt and vinegar was always my favourite.
Hello?
What's happening?
Don't know. I like pizza ones, I do.
Do you remember, Nick, do you remember the old routine in Iron Apple?
Am I back?
Before we used to get pissed.
Am I back now?
To soak it up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, you're back.
Fucking internet. We're all right. Salt and vinegar.
Jimbo, Dan, naked run down Barking.
I like. All right. Well, I won't go as far as Canning Town though. No, right. Someone also said this one. Dan's got to get some right said Fred gear. I will dress up as right said Fred, and I will sing it.
I'll be honest, mate. You ain't got to do much. You've only got to put a leather jacket on.
A vest and a leather jacket. And he's done.
Yeah, a vest and a leather jacket and probably an earring. Right, he's pros now.
Bringing them up.
I told you, didn't I?
Yeah, you told me.
So make sure you do it then.
I will.
Sorry.
What's happening? I'm scared.
Yeah, no, I'm not at all.
Well, just leave them.
I'm back. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, there's a lot of people agreeing with the barbecue. Nick, what's your favourite Harry Kane? Michael Caine film?
Jaws 4.
Jaws 4. Fuck off. You can't even include that. I tell you what, I was a big fan of Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and Harry Brown.
Harry Brown. I liked Harry Brown. But
He's
yeah,
he's the same in every film, isn't he?
yeah, it's exactly the same.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah. Shut up. Bloody. He don't say fucking. He goes bloody hell. I like Harry Brown. Harry Brown was good.
I'll get this question every week. Fury or Joshua?
I think Dan's
like
frozen
Italian
up.
Dan's got nervous.
I know, yeah, it's not working.
I'll go. Look, listen, Tyson Fury all day long for me.
No,
I don't know what's going on.
I've got no opinion on.
No, don't have an opinion, Nick. There's a lot of people saying Fury. I think there's a big lot of Fury fans in because I think he's the sort of people's champion, isn't he? What happened to Conor McGregor last week? He got knocked out, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. I'm not a big fan of the old UFC, but yeah. Oh, here he is.
Wait, I'm coming in on my phone.
All right, mate. Well done.
All right.
Here's a good question. Favorite football themed film?
Favorite football themed film?
There we go. I'm on my 4Gs.
I like
Favorite
football
The
themed.
what?
Oh, that's a good one. I like Mean Machine. I like Mean Machine. That's a good one with Vinnie Jones in it and Jason Statham. That's a good one.
See, I'm a big fan of the old football violence film. So I like Football Factory, Green Street. I like Rise of the Foot Soldier. But Escape to Victory was a great film. So many legends in that film. Ken Hammer's just said their ID, Gumbo. That's a great film as well. But I like, I know it weren't great, but do you remember the spoof film they done for Hooligan Factory when they took the piss out of all the football films?
I never saw it. Looked too low budget.
Oh, no. Do you know what? The mad thing is...
You're using Cockneys versus Zombies. What are you talking about?
do you know what the mad thing is? I've actually got a signed movie poster from the Hooligan Factory because I entered a Twitter competition when it came out and I won. And I've got it's a massive Hooligan Factory signed by all the cast, but it's like still in the box under the bed. So it's not one that I might give that away. I might give that away in the competition.
I'd say
Here's a good question.
Gary Oldman, yeah.
Gary Oldman, yeah.
Kemp craze or the Hardy craze? Now, I'll be honest with you. I actually like. Listen, I like. From what I know, the Kemp craze was more real, but I actually like the Tom Hardy craze. I thought it was a good film. Legend was a good film.
I haven't seen Legend apart from the trailers, but I have to go Kemp.
I remember I went to they do a fair. I can't remember where it is now in Malden. Every year they do like a summer fair, and it's like a 60s, like all the rides from the 60s, and them rides that they used there are the ones that they used in the Craze film with the Kemps. So now I do like the Kemps film, but I don't know. Tom Hardy one was a good film.
I preferred the Tom Hardy version because I thought it got deeper into a story. I think the Kemp one was like,
it was a bit darker, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit darker. Yeah.
But that's why that version that the Kemps done was more to the original story of the Tom Hardy one. But I suppose Tom Hardy is like a Hollywood actor, and he's got to appeal to the American fans, and they got to make it a little bit more
sensationalist. Yeah.
But no, two great films.
You have all frozen. Is that your?
I'll tell you what name this is. Oh, where's it gone? So, James Games. Actually, that was your name. James Games. How old's Ryan? I'm 36. I'm 37 in March. March the 10th. So if you want to send me any like donations, like don't worry about donating on here. Send it. I'll give you my bank details. Put it into my account because
get up a cash app or something they call it.
Yeah, I'll start up a GoFundMe or something.
GoFundMe. GoFundMe.
What is it? A GoFund page, is it, or something?
Yeah, something like that. Jelly deals, yes or no?
Nah.
As
much as I'm a proud Cockney, I just can't do jelly deals.
I don't like jelly.
I remember I had them once, and it was at Nicky's party at the Ascot Oil in Canning Town, and I remember him saying to me, "Have one," and we both put it in our mouth, and we spat it out, and we just went for the pineapple and cheese hedgehog.
You know when you used to get, I just don't like jelly in anything. I like jelly, like fruit jelly, but like when they jelly, the ham. Yeah, like the gelatin. When the ham has jelly around it, I don't like it. I think it's disgusting. I've never been into jelly myself.
You like a pork pie with jelly, though, don't you?
Not really.
That's the worst bit of the pork pie. That is.
Oh, I love it. I usually break the top off a pork pie, like take the hat off, eat the meat, and then finish the rest.
It's Matt also said, where can I find this West Ham Fan TV merch? Link is in the description down below, my friend, if you're on YouTube. Gelatine. Yeah, I don't like that shit, man.
Favourite place in East London? Oh,
not Canning Town.
Canning Town for me, because that's where I'm born. It's where my mum and dad live there. I love going Canning Town. Do you know what? I was actually talking to one of my mates the other day that I haven't seen for a long time, and we were talking about meeting. When the pubs are allowed to go back, I'm going to go down to Beckton Arms, have a few drinks with him. I haven't seen him for a long time, and we didn't talk for a couple of years, not because we didn't like each other, just because you lose contact. But lately we've been like messaging each other, talking to each other on the phone, and I'm looking forward to meeting up with a few of my old mates when we can go back. So the Beckton Arms is the place. I think that's the only boozer down Hermit Road and Barking Road at the moment.
I'd say either Plaistow or Stratford. I spent as a teenager a lot of time in Stratford, so Plaistow or Stratford. Two favourite places, I'd say.
I like Brick Lane as well.
West Ham Fan TV, of course.
Your favourite COVID brand? WHF TV merch.
Yeah, I do love. I'm a little bit partial to a bit of Lyland Scott, though. I love a bit of Lyland Scott.
I'm not into brand at all. Like most of my clothes is non-branded, but I never look at brands when it comes to clothes. Really,
I like a bit of. I've been buying a lot of Fila retro, Fila classic, the old 80s style lately. So yeah, Lyland Scott for me.
More Ralph Lauren me. But,
I'm actually looking for a sponsorship from Lyland Scott. I don't play golf.
Fred Perry, right?
No, I do like a bit of Fred Perry. I'm the same. Like with me, I'm not really a branded person. I just whatever I like, I see. Like, and I've Lyland Scott for me. I did actually have a Lyland Scott jumper on earlier, but it says Lyland Scott across it, and I thought if I wear it tonight, I'm going to get a lot of people saying, "Oh, you got Scott on your jumper, you got Robbie Law on your jumper." I thought, no, I'm going to take you off because I wore a an Adidas shirt the other week, and I got called a fucking New Zealand PE teacher.
Imagine if Robbie, Lyle, and Scott had a clothing brand together.
I buy it all day long. Lyle and Scott. That's my. Maybe they should do that.
There's top three.
Hey?
Lyle and Scott.
Yeah, Lyle and Scott. That's a podcast waiting to happen. That is.
Top 3 pre-bowling boozers.
Yeah, I'd say Denmark Arms, Victoria Tavern, and the bowling on like a big match day. I never the actual beer on a match day and the bowling tastes like shit, but the atmosphere was good. But I always like the Denmark Arms. M&M bar. That's where we used to go. I have to put M&M bar in there. Actually,
I used to drink a lot in the Central because a few of my mates used to go in there. I used to enjoy the bowling, the Queens. I used to enjoy the what was the old Weatherspoons by the town hall? The Walnut. What was it called?
Yeah, the Walnut.
No, it wasn't the Walnut. That's O'Neill's. I
know what you're talking about by East Ham Town Hall. Yeah,
I used to go in there, have something to eat, get a beer and a burger for a £5 and then walk down to the Central. But bowling was good, but you get beer chucked over you in there. But there was a lot of good. The Vic was a good one. There was a lot of good. But the Black Lion, great boozer on a match day. I do miss them old boozers. Do miss them.
Yeah.
That's it. Miller's Well.
I don't like pubs. I like space. So.
Nick, Miller's Well.
Miller's. Of course, it's the Miller's.
Thank you, Nick Tucker. Crossed Hammers.
Yeah, I'm not into pubs. I'm into space. So.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. I hate queuing up for the bar and shit like that. But
I used to love standing 6 to 7, 8 deep at the bar at the bowling, getting 2 pints, walking back. Someone sings a song and you lob one in the air, and you're like, "I've just wasted £3.50, but fuck it, it was worth it."
I can honestly say I've never thrown a beer.
Fucking! I can imagine that. I bet you was catching them in your fucking empty pint.
I bet you've ever spilled one, you tight bastard.
Do you remember the old the Hammers though? That was a good boozer.
Do you know what? I'll never forget. Right, one of my earliest. I must have been like 14 years old or whatever. And we was playing. I went in there. My dad. We took us in there to watch West Ham, and I was quite young, and it was the atmosphere was fucking bad. We were losing. Cole just missed one, and some cunt. He was behind me. He must have threw beer all over the back of me, and was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill someone in a minute." And I was just like that as a kid.
Funny story about the Vic. That game that we played Tottenham, and we beat them 1-0 at home last game. Not last game of the season, but when we played them at the Bowl-in, we beat them 1-0. I took my mate Lee to that game. He was an Arsenal fan, and I had a spare season ticket. And he hates Tottenham. When I mean someone hates Tottenham, he hates them. And he's got a soft spot for West Ham as well because of his family and that. So I took him over there, and I said to him, "Look, let's go. We'll go to the Vic, have a couple of pints." He went, "No, I don't want to go in there." He went, I went, "Look, you'll be all right." We literally walked through the door, walked to the bar, and all of a sudden I've heard, "Oi, Lee, you gonna come? What are you doing in here?" And 3 of his mates that knew him, but he was all right. It was a great night. And he got to see us beat Tottenham 1-0 at the Bowl-in. So everyone was happy that night.
Good times. So, can't beat the pubs over there. Much better than the Stratford pubs, honestly.
No, I think there's some good pubs at Stratford.
There are some, but they're very few and far between. And even the good ones, I don't think match up to the Upton Park pubs. I don't think.
No, I just think they're too far away. The good ones are too far away.
Here's one for you, Dan. Who would win the Royal Rumble fight between all the West Ham players?
I have to go with Antonio, probably, innit?
No, do you know what? I'm going to go Sue Fowl because I can imagine him coming in at number 30 and just whipping you over the top rope on the quick.
Yeah, I wouldn't go with Suchek because I think he'll try and do some sort of flying headbutt on someone and go over the ropes.
Yeah, it is one. Do you know what? This is a funny question because tomorrow night, me and the wife have decided we're going to have an Indian. We haven't had a takeaway all month. We've been so good, and we're going to have one tomorrow. We've gone for an Indian. Usually we go for a Chinese, but we're going to go for an Indian. But what's your favourite curry?
I go Vindaloo. That's what I have. I have the hottest gospel Vindaloo.
You fucking would, wouldn't you?
It's got to be Vindaloo.
Nick, what's your favourite curry, mate?
Korma.
Yeah.
See, I'm the same. I'm the same. When I go to an Indian, I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be burning and not taste nothing. So
I enjoy that.
No, listen. I like a korma, but I've upgraded because once we went to an Indian and I was thinking I'm going to get a korma, and my daughter ordered like a jalfrezi, and I thought, well, that's a bit odd, and I can't give up here. I can't let my daughter win, so I went for that and I enjoyed it. But I enjoy a madras as well, so I'm moving up. But I remember last time we went to an Indian, you know, you get the specials. I was looking at them, and one of them went coconut. I thought, well, I'll have a bit of that. They put it down. Dan, literally, the thing hit my fucking lips. I was on fire.
Bloody hell.
It burnt me, honestly. The cobra was going everywhere. Like, I was getting the mince yogurt sauce and the mango chutney. I was like, I was on fire. When he said to me, what do you want for dessert? I went, a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, I tell you, my uncle, right? We used to go at the end of the season, the family end of season curry. We used to go this curry house in Rush Green where my uncle Peter lives, and he got pissed and ordered a fowl, right? And a fowl is the hottest curry. It's like hotter than a vindaloo, and he's eating this fowl, and you know the pain in his face. Honestly, it's I want to try a fowl. I haven't got to try it. I like a vindaloo.
That's ridiculous.
But it's just
ridiculous.
It's the
I always think that if you eat it and it burns your tongue, you can't taste nothing. What's the point of eating the rest? You can't taste nothing.
No, but
I've seen people eat these curries, and by the end of it, they're crying.
Yeah, I remember once I went out on a work do. This geezer went, yeah, I'll eat a fowl. Fuck it, I'll have it. Bring it on, mate. He had one spoonful. I thought he was. Honestly, I thought he was going to pass out. He went, "Help."
My mum did pass out from eating a fowl. She actually passed out eating it. Eating the fowl. It's like. But the thing is, it's the challenge of it. Like when you're into spice, you like to pay, you like to try and challenge yourself and push your limits and the kick. I like food like food that hurts a bit. I like sour food and spice.
I remember when I went on a video shoot, right, for Ball Street, and my mate Roven was there, right, and he'd done a trick on me, right, and Roven is now he's the cameraman for the kickoff.
He is now. You mean? Oh yeah,
he that's who he works for. He works for the True Geordie now. He's like very, very good cameraman. Really nice guy. He filmed a couple of our videos early doors as well. But I went in for some sponsored thing for, I don't know whether it was for William Mill or something like that, to do some VTs for them, and he was obviously filming them. And just before I was about to go in, about 10 minutes before I went to go in,
been announced, Lingard.
He's done. Fucking.
Has he done it?
We have to give ourselves half hour after this is done to watch that intro video. Probably he's probably doing a fucking full waltz.
I'm just watching it now.
Yeah. So he's got to me. Try one. He's got this pot of stuff, right? And he's going to me, try one drop of this stuff on your tongue. I was like, what is it? It's like, it's sweet. It's really sweet. He put this drop on my tongue. I thought I was going to die. And I'm not joking either. I had to go in the toilet. It was something like a fucking 10 million Scoville fucking thing, right? You know, like when you was eating that chips down and you started crying.
Yeah.
It was like as hot as one of them. It was like it was stuff that they put in that shit, and he done me so bad. I was in the toilet, right? Bear in mind, I was booked into film in 10 minutes. I was in the toilet for an hour, and it was coming out of my nose, like puke. Where I was puking up, and it was making my nose hurt, and I couldn't see, I couldn't walk around, I couldn't do nothing. I was just on the toilet. Going, bleh, bleh.
He could have given you something that was like 500,000 Scoville units and could have stitched you up. He went overkill.
Yeah, he went overkill, right? And I could actually, when I was in the toilet, I heard him getting told off by the boss, going like, "What the fuck did you do that for? He's meant to be filming. Like we're 50 minutes over schedule now. Like, I'm sorry. And then when I come out, he was going, Nicky, I'm so sorry. And I was like, no, man, that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
That's just what it is.
So, Lingard, shall I play the video?
Yeah, go
Can
on.
you play it on here?
You can. Oh, if you can share
Upload
this.
it.
I
Huh?
can't.
You can if you download it and upload it.
Or you
Oh,
could
do
share your
that now
screen.
then. Can anyone do that?
Hold on, yeah, I'll stay there. Let's have a look. What's it on? I don't know what's on.
West Ham Twitter.
Jay Ling. I'm not calling him Jay Lings.
I'm going to call him J-Lo.
J-Lo. It's quite a,
Right.
it's a good video. I like it. It's not bad.
Where are we?
It's not. It's like yes. Yeah,
No,
I think
I'm going to answer this question. Philip saying, what hair gel do you use? I don't use anything, mate. I've got nothing in here. It's just.
I'm sure it's not the old. There's something about Mary hair gel.
No, honestly, mate. I wish that was, but I don't. Ever since lockdown, I used to use Tony and Guy hair gel, not hair gel, but you know the old fucking whatever it is. Here we go. Is West? Hang on, let me get his comment off the screen. West Ham's official new signing, Jay Lings.
Check it.
Any minute now. Fuck me, he's left the club, Nick. He had a great spell at West Ham. Has Nicky froze?
What's going on?
I don't know. Is Nicky froze?
It looks like it. Now he's in it. Now he's in it. It's buggered. Oh, that was good. Look at Nicky. He's froze.
What happened, Nick?
He looks really disappointed.
Nicky's upset with the
Brilliant.
West Ham deal. Oh, Aston Villa have just terminated the contract of Lansbury.
Of who?
Henry Lansbury. West Ham goalkeeping legend.
Oh, he's back. Oh, he's gone. He's back.
I don't know what happened here.
All right, are we ready to play it?
No.
Oh. It was a pretty good video, though. It was. I think it was a good video. He didn't do anything too cringeworthy. Like,
Hold on, let me take myself.
Where's he gone?
Oh shit! Look, why am I? Oh, here we go. Oh, he's taking stuff out now. He's going to play it. All right, let's see. I think it's the player as well as if you play it on a shit player. He's better off going on YouTube, I think. I'm pretty much sure. Okay.
I don't know what it just kicks me out. I don't know what's going on.
Don't worry about it, mate. Everyone can see it. Go on YouTube.
Recreation.
Huh?
Do a recreation. Recreate it for us. As he go like that. I bet he does that.
No, he went like that. He went, I always used to drink down the Vic back in the days. I remember one of the days when I used to sit in the Bobby Moore lower when we used to struggle. Now, do you know what? Look, joking aside, it's a great signing for the club. I think he'd do well. He's got something to prove. He's got 18 games now to play himself into that Euro squad for England. And as I said at the beginning of the show, he will up players' games like Fornells, Bowen, Lanzini. You know, they'll all up their game now because they've got a player like Jesse Lingard coming in. And I really hope it works out for him. And I'm looking forward to seeing him in a West Ham shirt.
Okay. Don't know what's happened to Dan. Can we leave it there, right?
Yeah, I'm happy, mate. I've had a good night.
All right.
What's going on? What is going on?
Can I hear you now? I can't fucking hear anyone.
Stupid.
Pat, where's Pat? Anyway,
There we go.
What's going on?
Anyway,
I can hear you now. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing special, the video, is it? But it's respectable.
Yeah, well, it fucking took them a long time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I like the lighting.
For joining us on this edition of West Ham Fans from Night Pint. I'll be back tomorrow. With a preview with the Red Men TV. Then we'll be back on Sunday for the watch-alongs and all that jazz. So, anyone else wants to say? What's happened to Dan? Why does he keep on ducking out?
I don't know, but I like that we've matched up tonight, Nick. I'm wearing the jumper version, you're wearing a t-shirt version, which is available in our club shop.
What the hell is going on?
What the fucking hell is going on? I think Dan's playing silly buggers on us.
He's fucked off now.
This time, yeah, he's fucked off. I think his missus was giving him a bit of grief. But yeah, look. Anyway,
why does everyone keep coming out of the stream?
I don't know. Why do you look like the geezer at the villain at a fucking Last Action Hero?
I love that.
Anyway, listen, I've got a fucking bag of Haribo Tangtastics over there and another JD and Coke I want. It's Friday night. I've got to catch up on the EastEnders. So let's crack on. We'll be back Sunday. Watch-alongs, post-match pint, fan cams, buy T-shirts, support the channel, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. Yeah, happy days.
One thing left to say.
Come on, you
Come on, you guys.